Asal had whispered to Serena that she thought he was good-looking, and Serena had hit her friend's arm. There was little traffic at this time. Over the sound of the few cars and her own footsteps, Serena heard a strange noise in the distance, a deep, fast thudding, like the lathes in her uncle's furniture workshop. Or like the sound when the president came. Yes, that was it, a helicopter. More than one, perhaps. Serena walked on. Gradually, other girls, dark ghosts in their chadders, began to fill the street. The sound of the helicopters faded, and Serena heard the giggles and murmurs of her fellow students. An amplified click rang out across the district, and the muezzin began their calls to prayer. A new four-lane highway ran right to the gates of the plant, but the quickest way to the mosque lay across a large empty lot and down a much narrower street, between two rows of comfortable villas where the most senior nuclear engineers and their families lived. For the fourth morning in a row, Serena found herself in a slowly moving, chattering column of girls dressed in black, sauntering through the pre-dawn darkness in their hundreds, passing under the streetlights like a river. Serena saw Asal waiting for her outside her house and greeted her. "Come on, slow coach," said Asal. "I hate these early starts," said Serena. "Can you see how bad they are for my skin? Did you hear helicopters?" "Yes," said Asal, her beautiful eyes widening with fascination. It was the last words Serena would ever hear her speak. It all seemed to happen at once. Another sound came from the plant ahead of them, a sort of rattling and scraping, like a ruler dragged along a fence. From the front of the column of girls, they heard the sound of vehicle engines and screams. Behind them, from the patch of empty ground, was the sound of the helicopters again, now deafeningly loud. Serena looked back. She saw girls running in panic in different directions, and enormous black shapes approaching the ground in clouds of dust. A siren began to moan from the direction of the plant. Serena turned in time to see a series of blinding white flashes, followed by blasts which made her crouch down and cover her head with her hands. When she next looked, she saw something she could not make sense of. A column of trucks was driving up the street towards her from the direction of the plant. Soldiers were hanging out of the windows and through holes in the roofs, carrying weapons and screaming in a language she thought she didn't understand, but realized with a shock was English, although she didn't know all the words. The trucks kept stopping because there were hundreds of shrieking, panic-stricken girls blocking their way. Without knowing why, she crouched against the wall and took out the borrowed video camera. She began to film. She recorded it all under the harsh lights. The American soldiers screaming at each other, the stopping and starting of their trucks, the cry, "Move forward! Move the fucking trucks forward! Any raghead bitch gets in the way, fucking light her up! Move!" The moving of the trucks into the mass of schoolgirls, the screams as their bodies went under the wheels, the shooting. Even when the bullets pierced Serena's body, the camera continued to record, writing the billions of digits of information that would be found intact in her cold hand, later that morning, among the heaped bodies of the dead. Adam Kellas halted the free scurry of his pen along the feint of the notebook, read back the last few sentences, crossed out raghead, and inserted towelhead. He crossed out towelhead and fucking. Any bitch gets in the way, light her up. The extra pejoratives were superfluous. Without it, the sentence was tight, effective craft. Depending on the reader's view, it would provoke anger towards the U.S. troops or towards him, Kellas, the author. The direction didn't matter. The emotion did. It had the added virtue of distracting attention from the blandness of the petite paragon Serena, whose only purpose from the off, it might otherwise be clear,